A very good afternoon. Welcome to Ubc Lunchtime News today on the 10th of August 2024. We start off with a massive heap of garbage that has reportedly buried people, houses, livestock and other properties at the Kitezi Landfill in Lusanje, Wakiso district. Assessments are being conducted by both technocrats and residents to determine the extent of the damage. The incident occurred on Friday night following a heavy downpour, and the landfill receives approximately 1,500 tons of garbage daily from the Kampala Capital City Authority. Over time, the accumulated waste had formed a towering mound. We will keep you updated with the story in detail later on in our subsequent bulletins. But moving on from that, the State Minister for Local Government, Businga Victoria Lusoke, is calling for a multi-stakeholder approach in restoring the environment. This call was made at the official handover of 10,000 trees donated by Save the World Fund Go Green to Lake Victoria Regional Local Authorities Corporation to regreen areas around Lake Victoria. Meanwhile, Lavrak leadership castigated politicians defending encroachers, degrading the environment, and stressed the need to sensitize the public on mindset change and planting more trees to restore the degraded environment to fight climate change.
This donation, as I hear, some of the trees are fruit trees, is a complement to the parish development model, a new strategy in Uganda to pull up the economic position of the lowest income earners, the value of 39% in Uganda. So it is our role and responsibility as the Ministry of Local Government to emphasize a lot of sensitization, mindset change, to make sure our local communities, ranging from the lowest grassroots entity, the village, to the ward or parish, to the sub-county or town council, to the municipalities, to the cities, to the districts, to ensure that these trees are very well managed so that we raise the fruits that are double-edged, both for restoration.
I call upon the communities in which these trees are going to be planted to be vigilant and get the trees carelessly, since we are losing forest cover at a very wide range. Lavrak will work with the NEMA, especially in buffering the wetland and strengthening the local environment committee, as well as sensitizing the community about environmental protection. I'm sure this is just the beginning. Multi-stakeholder engagement with different players. I want to thank Save the World Fund from China for coming up with such a brilliant initiative.
China has now embarked on a new journey to build a modern socialist country in all of building a beautiful China. We have decided on accelerating the comprehensive green transformation of economic and social development, improving the governance system related to ecology, and promoting resource conservation, green low carbon development.
In more stories today, MTN Uganda has announced 50 million Ugandan shillings investment for its Change Makers initiative, a program designed to stir positive social change across Uganda. The funds are dedicated to supporting 25 new projects in 20 districts, including Kampala, Buganda, Toro, Bunyoro, Ankole and Kitezi. Since its launch last July under the MTN Foundation, the initiative has invested over 30 billion Ugandan shillings in more than 250 projects, significantly strengthening communities nationwide. Sada Mubale reports.
Thought that it is high time that we will work with the most vulnerable directly, so that we could understand their pains, we could understand how they would want to be supported, and in their micro ways be able to impact the communities that are directly around them.
That the transformation in terms of the lives of our people should be taken care of in that space. But also when you look at some of the projects that we've done in the East, like HETA, we've seen us transforming the lives of the young people within our communities, from just being doing basic sewing to being professional tailors.
Now we have 80 very good metallic beds together with mattresses. We have latrines and bathrooms constructed for the girls, and we have 20 new computers connected to internet, unlimited internet for 1 year, courtesy of MTN Foundation Uganda.
This MTN Change Makers Initiative, because this is an initiative that is aimed at giving confidence, giving new hope to these local individuals and local communities by supporting them with finances that they need to invest in their various projects, which at the end of the day are going to be used to transform their communities.
Of course, earlier on when the bulletin had just started, we mentioned a massive heap of garbage that had reportedly buried people, houses, livestock, and other properties at the Kitezi Landfill in Lusanja, Wakiso district. But right now we have pictures because our team is on ground to tell us more about what's happening. Take a look.
Ateyo mwati yetolole wali ajamenye wenyumba jamenya wowe nyini ajenga ya kajoba na bugera Neka tuwanava mtolo wa tukasa kwasewa bulumbo ajowe awowe nyini awe kuberi oliraba grade yambuka wamenye okiri ekikomera ne katoya akamenya yambuke Oja kyasoroba akasasa ya kude bwati ebonyera ya nakunyo ati tulule nakukasasira abisa abantu Sijja gamba nti omu babiri wabula tutandikire ku mayumba agataka wansi wa kitundu. Omutambuza kamera omutunuulira wali olinga olusozi omulabanga kasasi wansi wonna wabaddewo mayumba agabaddemu abantu kyase badde mbi balese kulebe nenga twade kwekalakasa bajja kuleta emmotoka bingi
abantu amayumba agali awo bonna poliisi temanyi muntu ani abantu bali awo ebagize okiwulira abantu bonna bafiiridde awo abantu babatemera na nkumbi bajjayo mukazi w'olubuto nga yenna asensabuse naye nga tewali na ambulensi emutwala gavumenti kijje tulimu ng'emirambo bagitwalira mu ngalo
kusima abantu kunoonya bantu kati bo bazze wano kati eri gyali akola ki mugaso ki gwakola wawali kusima sinegere tukubagana tukugaba nawe ngo muri akola tukuteza tugosikayo wese tugomyeyo kandi n'abasimayo n'abasimayo wese uya bagwi
Tubasaba bannaffe ubundi nga bwezze etaase naye obuzibu buliwo bw'amaanyi nnyo mwanyina zimbadde naakamala emyezi ebiri nga nzize wano okumulabako wabaddewo n'ekiraalo kintu mufiiriddemu n'enti nti abadde alinawo entaawo abaddewo n'ekiraalo nakyo enti oba zibaddemu mukaaga oba musanvu naye nga mubaddemu n'enti omabegaawo nakyo sifiiriddewo.
This morning at Kitezi, there was a structure failure in the landfill, causing damage to human life and property. By 11 a.m., 12 people had been rescued and evacuated to St. Stephen Hospital and Mulago Hospital. 5 people are still missing. We have 2 garbage trucks of private collectors that have been covered in the landfill, as well as 1 excavator. Our leachate plant has been destroyed. Our priority at the moment is search and rescue, as well as plans to normalize operations of the landfill. We appeal to the public to remain calm, as all agencies are here to support the search and rescue.
Very sad, traumatic story, right? That we pray that the 5 that haven't been rescued are rescued and also given medical attention, like the 12 that were earlier on rescued. But moving on from that, and by the way, we'll be updating you on whatever happens or comes from that story. The AIDS support organization TASO Sorority Center of Excellence has held its 18th annual Center General Meeting under the theme Empower and Let Communities Lead. The event was graced by the Minister of State for TASO Affairs, Honorable Clement Kenneth Ongalo Obote, who commended TASO's tireless efforts in raising awareness about HIV and AIDS in Uganda. Vincent reports.
The Minister of State for TASO Affairs, Honorable Clement Kenneth Ongalo Obote, has pledged the government's continued commitment to supporting TASO's mission, particularly in reducing the spread of HIV among the youths.
You must continuously remind these young people that you are still living under the cloud of this very terrible disease. There is still no cure for it. We can cure COVID, we can cure TB, we can cure so many other things, but there is still no cure for HIV.
This pledge was made during the 18th annual general meeting of the AIDS support organization Sorority Center of Excellence, which was held under the theme Empower and Let Communities Lead. The Center Programs Manager at TASO Sorority, Mr. Odoi Charles, highlighted significant progress in the number of clients under their care, showcasing the impact of their community-driven approach.
Today we have 6,209 clients active in care. This, as compared to last year, we had a lower number. The number keeps growing. Unfortunately, the funds keep dwindling. And so we call upon people of goodwill, partners, and everyone, individuals, to come and subscribe so that we can increase the domestic funding, local resource funding.
When TASO was founded, you became the lifeline to those who had previously had no hope, much like that gentleman who introduced his assignment. It's the first time I'm hearing an assignment of that nature. But AIDS, all of a sudden, had a face. And you taught us, you taught Uganda, you taught society to talk openly about AIDS.
This year's meeting reinforces TASO's ongoing dedication to empowering communities and ensuring they take the lead in the fight against HIV/AIDS.
This year, we commenced the Triple Elimination Project, which is funded by the Pfizer Foundation, and it is focusing on eliminating mother-to-child transmission of HIV, hepatitis B, and syphilis. And last week, we were in Kumi District.
Advisory Committee, Center Management Team, all staff and volunteers for their tireless efforts in ensuring that the Center of Excellence achieves its goals and targets, especially when we lost the Soroti Regional Project.
For UBC News, I'm Charity Nahawe and Vincent.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Uganda, are you ready to kick things up to the next level? The Uganda National Lottery brings you Sports Take 10. Predict the results of 10 football games and win big. With tickets at only 500 shillings, join the fun and make your predictions count with Sports Take 10. Sports Take 10, your ticket to football glory.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Uganda fire! Endiva fire! Our fire!
Uganda! Thank you for showing your fire! Has Nabole Stadium opened its doors once again? While you were warm moving in bed, you were the 12th player when Uganda Cranes needed you the most. Through our famous wins against Tumakunda and our unlucky losses, you stood firm, supporting even louder. Now, as Uganda Cranes take on South Africa and Congo this September, South Sudan in October, and play our second legs against South Africa and Congo in November, bring even more fire! Because with your support, Uganda Cranes is unstoppable! Uganda fire! Proudly brought to you by MTN, the #1 supporter of Uganda Cranes. Together, we are unstoppable.
The lunchtime news, and from the international desk, the U.S. presidential campaign is being closely followed in Ukraine as its outcome could significantly impact regional security, U.S. foreign policy, NATO support, and to Ukraine and relations with Russia. Take a look.
President Kamala Harris has met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky 6 times, most recently in June at the Ukraine Peace Summit in Switzerland. Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, which began 1 year into the Biden-Harris administration, has shaped U.S. foreign policy. U.S. leadership and support have been critical in helping Ukraine withstand Russian aggression, says Ukrainian parliament member Ivana Klimpush-Tsentsadze.
However, we also understand that unfortunately, some of the kind of dripping policy of delivering weapons to Ukraine, this escalation management, that is something that would need to be changed.
She says bipartisan U.S. support is key for Ukraine, and Kyiv is preparing to work with any administration to ensure the continuity of aid.
And I believe that incredibly important is to start switching from the policy of supporting Ukraine as long as it takes to the real victory of Ukraine.
The United States remains the top provider of aid to Ukraine. According to the Kale Institute for the World Economy, since the beginning of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine, the U.S. has allocated more than $81 billion. The Biden-Harris administration's policy of supporting Ukraine was historic, says analyst Mykola Davydyuk.
After Second World War, that is the biggest support of European states after that war. So like they created the history.
Ukrainian political scientist Yevhen Glebovitsky says the amount of aid is critical, but understanding Russia's intentions and Ukraine's strategic role are equally important.
The greatest failure of Biden administration was actually not seeing that Russia has to be defeated in order to de-escalate the tensions internationally. So while trying to prevent World War III, actually the Biden administration has made mistakes that made World War III more likely.
However, he notes that Republican support for Ukraine is not guaranteed. Former President Donald Trump has raised concerns about corruption in the country and questioned military alliance.
Ukraine is between the rock and a hard place because the potential Trump administration is actually threatening Ukraine to cut off supplies at all and is threatening to either withdraw from NATO or diminish the importance of NATO.
Whether a Republican or Democrat wins the presidency in November, Russia's war in Ukraine and securing peace in Europe will remain.
Ukrainian officials said that at least 10 people were killed and 35 wounded in a Russian strike on a supermarket in eastern town of Kostakia, Nivaka. Now, rescue personnel pulled charred bodies and injured people from the rubble of the destroyed building on the 9th of August following the attack. Take a look.
Ракета прилетела на вход или не знаю. А где какой? Сразу все загорелось. Парализованы были все выходы и входы. Ну, сотрудников было 17. Покупателей не могу вам сказать.
And that's all we had for you this afternoon. Do join me again at 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. for my news coming your way in English. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha. Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Nyati Motion Pictures brings you Tuko Pamoja Toro segment. Don't miss the romantic tale of an adventurous Prince Kaboyo Kasusunkwanzi who fell in love with